Now there's another great level of customization that you have here inside of Photoshop CS3, and that's the ability to customize your menus. Now a great example of this is located inside of one of the workspaces actually here inside of Photoshop CS3. So I'm going to go ahead and show that to you now under Window, Workspace, and then choose What's New in CS3. Now when you do this, it's going to tell you that the selected workspace will modify menu and or keyboard shortcut sets. Would you like to apply this workspace? I'm going to go ahead. This time I'm going to select Don't Show Again because I don't want this each and every time I switch workspaces because I already know that it's going to override keyboard shortcuts and menu items. So I'm going to go ahead and say Don't Show That Again, and we'll go ahead and click Yes. Now, you're not going to see a real big visual change from this simply because this is only a menu set change here. None of the interface items changed on screen, obviously, but there are some different menu things that change. For instance, if I open up the filter menu here, you're going to see several different things that are in light blue. And what those are things that are new in CS3. So, for instance, if you're new to the program here to CS3, go ahead and turn on this workspace, and you're going to be able to cycle through all of these areas and find things that are new, things that have changed. This is a great example of both how to get more familiar with the CS3 interface itself and also the ability of customization you have with the menu items. So by creating custom menus, you have the ability to highlight different areas of menus. You also have the ability to control the visibility of certain menu items. So how exactly do we go about changing this? Well, I'm going to go back first to the default workspace just to kind of get rid of these, and we'll go back to Window, Workspace, Default Workspace, like so. And what we're going to do now is we are going to come up here underneath the Edit menu, and we'll choose Menus. Now, inside of the Menus dialog box, which by the way is just an extra tab that's associated with the keyboard shortcuts dialog box, what we're going to do inside of here is we are going to mess around with some of these menus just to give you an idea of exactly how to do this. For instance, I'm going to go up underneath the Filter menu here. I'm just going to twirl that open by clicking the little triangle icon, and then I'll cycle down to maybe one of the artistic filters here. So inside the artistic filter portion of that menu, if you find yourself using one of these commands more so than others, like let's say you used neon glow a little bit more than the rest of them, let's say you wanted to associate a color with this, you could do so simply by clicking right here underneath the color tab and selecting from any one of these colors in here. Like let's go ahead and say that we want to put it in green. And let's also say that maybe I don't really want to see the colored pencil option every single time I open that dialog box because it just kind of gets in my way. Go ahead then and turn off this little eyeball icon, which toggles visibility. Now what we're going to do is we're going to save this as a menu set. So we're going to click on the little disk with the green arrow because remember we don't want to override our defaults. I'll just call this Justin.mnu and I'll go ahead and click save. Now when I twirl open this dialog box here, you'll notice that I have Justin listed inside of here as well as my Photoshop defaults and then many other presets that ship with CS3. So I'm going to go ahead then, I'll click OK. I now have my custom menu set invoked here inside of Photoshop. So for instance, if I were to go to, let me target this layer here so I have the ability to go to the filter menu. I'll choose artistic. You see there, I don't have colored pencil at the top of the dialog box anymore. It goes straight to cutout, and then I also have neon glow highlighted in green. So you could see how this would be useful in specific instances where if you're just doing portrait retouching or something, you could highlight the blurs or highlight the sharpening settings. So this is a great way just to limit what you see and to highlight what you use often. So I'm going to go ahead then, we'll click out of there and I'm going to go back to the edit menu. I'm going to choose menus again and I'll select Photoshop defaults and click OK just so I'm right back on the same page as I was when we first started this lesson.